Welcome back to another episode of Armchair Author Chats. I'm your host, Rita Slanina, and today we have another very talented author. Jay Noble is a multi-genre author who figured out the voices in her head were worlds waiting to be written. Now she writes their stories all while arguing with those voices because they don't like to listen. I feel you, girl. Now her days are spent in sarcastic conversations, battles, and magical worlds that have no ending to explore yet because they don't want to zip it. They want to keep running. I'm with this. The Guardian series are her first books that have been released into the world, a world of paranormal, urban fantasy with shifters and trueborn. Currently, she is working on a new world with magic, gods who play games with their creations' lives, and a plethora of mythical creatures. And maybe we can get her to talk a little bit more about that. Let's bring her on. Jenny, how are you? Welcome to the show.
I'm good. How about you?
I'm good. I can't complain. That it's kind of warming up. It feels like spring is coming. I'm channeling the vibes over here.
It's getting 75 here today, so I have windows open and doors open. Oh yeah, it's
Isn't
gorgeous.
that so refreshing?
It is wonderful. It's wonderful. It's not stuffy anymore.
So, welcome to the show. Let's start with your book, Beastly. How would you pitch it in one sentence?
Oh, beastly. I thought you were gonna do Touched by Rain.
I'm mixing it up, but I do want to hear about Touched by Rain too. Well, let's do
Oh,
both if you like.
okay. Beastly. Let's see here. Oh wow. I don't know how to pitch that one in one sentence. Uh, Shifters and Trueborn, which are witches, um, need to work together to protect their people. It's really hard to. I have to think back to what the book's about. Is that horrible?
That's
Because
great. Sarah is
once the
Sarah.
book leaves my head, it's like it's done. I don't remember a lot.
Oh, I'm guilty. That's why I had the reverse storyboards and all the things. I'll never remember. I never do. I love how in that book that no matter how much she protests, Sarah can't escape Zale's relentless determination to protect her. I know
Oh
that.
yes, her beastly. I love her sarcasm with him and how she deals with him because she doesn't put up with much when it comes to his being forceful.
So let's play with this. How about Touched by Rain? Let's get a one sentence pitch with Touched by Rain.
Okay,
This is your
how about
newest release.
Touched by Rain is the third book in the Guardian series.
Hmm?
That one is with Rain and Lucas, and it's basically Rain needs to convince Lucas to help her find those that are responsible for kidnapping shifters and trueborn, and then the ones that are kidnapping them are hunting them for sport. So
Whew.
it's basically trafficking and hunting, and they have to protect
Yeah.
their. So
Oh, I love that. So, what was the spark that set this third book in motion? Real life experience? A dream?
I was actually reading an article on trafficking.
Oh,
And I kind of went, well, that'd be kind of interesting if we made it trafficking, or if I made it into trafficking, talking about myself in third person, there we go. Um, made it into a trafficking thing where they were hunting them for sport, because I kind of like those kind of movies. So, I thought it would be kind of interesting. And Lucas is human. He's not trueborn or shifter, but his parents are. So he has a
ah,
little stick and he can see visions by touching people or objects.
and it
So
shines a light on the trafficking situation that's prevalent and sadly happening all over the world in the US.
right, and that's the thing about all three books is each one deals with a different situation. The book one is domestic assault or domestic violence. Book two touches on also domestic, but it's also because Angel is helping people get away from that and get out of it. It's kind of an underground railroad kind of thing
Right,
for
right,
away from people. So
right. Oh, that's fabulous. So, your characters feel very real. Do you base them on people you know, or do they just take on a life of their own as you write?
kind of half and half. I draw from people around me, but then they kind of take a life of their own.
Okay, yeah, that works. So, writing can be a wild process. Do you have any quirky habits aside from talking to ourselves in third person? routines or must have rituals when you're working on a book?
Um, must have, I have to have music. And it's not without words, it's music with words. Lately, it's kind of a bluesy bluegrass mix. Uh,
Ooh.
and yeah, it's like dark country and bluegrass mixed together. Have to have my drinks, which and my snacks, and then pen and paper because I'll be typing on the computer, but most of it is handwritten out my thoughts. So how I can get them out
Oh,
of my head
wow.
is handwriting. So
That sounds like me and the Post-its. I have a Post-it problem.
I
If there
am.
was a Post-its anonymous place for me to go to, I need to go.
I think you and me both because I'm into post-its big time too.
Yeah, I mean, there's like a plethora. Like there's a ton. Like you can't see them, but yeah, it's very sad.
I have a wall of post-its on the side
So
too.
what do
So
you drink? Is it like water,
um,
tea?
it's usually water, tea, or ginger ale.
Ooh, ginger ale.
Yeah, I found the
I love ginger
new
ale.
fruit splash, so it's a cherry ginger ale, and I kind of like it.
Ooh, I like that. Oh,
Yeah,
I might add that to my rituals. So what was the
I like the.
most I'm sorry, go ahead.
I said I like the fizzy. That's about it.
Yeah, the fizzy, right? It's nice. It's refreshing, especially with spring. It's like, huh.
Right.
So, what's the most rewarding or challenging part of writing Touched by Rain? Did anything about the story surprise you along the way?
Well, challenges with all my books, which I'm probably not going to do too much of anymore, was the sex scenes. Surprisingly, I write them all. I just can't. Yeah, I just. The rewarding was hearing from others how much they like my books. So I have yet to get a bad review. I've gotten one where she said it wasn't quite her style of reading, but the rest of it was all
Which
of the
isn't
others
really
were
negative. It's just more like it's not her tea, so
right.
whatever. But like, it's still the writing's good, and I mean, you are a good writer. I've read it, so it's like you are chef's kiss.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome. I feel you on the sex scenes though.
I'd rather write a fight scene or some sarcastic little mouthy scene than a sex scene. So in the new stuff that I'll be writing, it's basically kind of closed doors, more
Yep.
hint, hinting at what happened, but not
Huh.
full deep. So
Yeah, I've taken that position as well. We'll have to chat off screen about why we've made those decisions. Publishing can be a roller coaster. What's your biggest wow or what just happened moment in your journey so far?
um oh, let's see. I'm so confused. Well, biggest wow was actually publishing my books because I didn't think I was ever going to get anything published. And the hardest part of it all was I published all three of my books when I was going through a divorce. First one was divorce, then I was homeless, then I was dating someone and he passed away, and then my last one was like to Alabama. So it was like pure chaos for 3 years, and I'm
Wow.
publishing three books. Everyone that knows me pretty much like Sako and Nicole Ford Thomas and all that kind of know my whole chaos I had.
Hmm.
Now it's all settled. Now it's so much better. And now I can actually settle and actually write without pure chaos going on.
Yeah. Well, there's something to be said about getting through all those trials with and publishing your books. I mean, that you are inspiration. That is amazing. Every writer has those stuck moments. How do you get past writer's block, or if you don't have writer's block, maybe a creative slump?
I either walk away. I'm an OG gamer. I kind of walk
Okay.
away and play video games. So
Okay.
I will curl up with Diablo or Final Fantasy games, and I will sit and play. And in my background of my brain, I'm rethinking what I'm stuck on because I'm not really. It's not really a block for me. I'm stuck on how to proceed with something.
Hmm.
So I will sit and play a game until I get that aha moment. which doesn't usually take long because my ADD
Right.
goes, "Oh yeah, we should be doing this now." So
Oh, gotta love it when it works, right? Yes, ADHD. Thank you for coming along today.
so it's either video games or I cook and bake because I love to cook.
Oh, I
So
love cooking and baking too. I do zone out when I do that. My
yeah,
brain just,
Izzy will come home to unique and new dishes a lot of the time. So
oh, that's sweet. So let's dream big. If Touched by Rain were turned into a movie or TV show, who would you cast?
oh, that one was easy. Nicholas Hoult
Oh,
as Lucas, you know who I'm talking about from Warm Bodies and X-Men.
I
I
love
and
him.
I love him too, and he's such a versatile actor. I think he
Hmm.
would be perfect for Lucas because Lucas is more of a kind of laid back, mellow, and more sensitive kind of guy than the other two characters in
And in
Married to
Warm
Both.
Bodies, his timing for the comedic just,
Right. I
oh, it's
love his
perfect.
thing. And then Abigail Breslin for Rain from Zombieland, the little blonde,
Yeah,
smart ass mouth.
she
So
does. She does. We'll bleep that out in post.
sorry. Her
You're
timing.
fine.
I have a sailor some days, so but her
We love
timing for
sailors too. I mean, you know,
right? But her timing for being sarcastic and that through Zombieland just kind of made me think she'd be perfect for Rain.
both
So,
great picks. Yeah, I love that. Books have the power to change us. What's the one book besides your own that has deeply impacted you?
oh, this one's old. It's
Okay.
my grandmother had it on her shelf. It was like this thick because it was the unabridged version. I got Sakakawea by Annalee Waldo.
Oh,
Is the life right? It's a deep book. It's the life well, a lot of people say Sacagawea, but it's actually Sakakawea.
this is a heavy
So
one, guys, but moving, and
thick.
I already understand why it's gonna be deeply impactful.
And I read it when I was like 8, 9 years old the first time, and I've read it over and over and over again since then. It's one of my favorite books.
That's a great choice. Great choice. If you could have a dinner party with three literary characters, yours or someone else's, who would you invite and why?
Okay, number one would be Marla for my books because she's just this sarcastic, straightforward character. I want to do a book about just her because
Oh,
I love
yeah,
her.
that'd be great.
My daughter says Marla is me, so I'm like, maybe I don't want to write that one.
Hmm.
Um, I would love like Atticus O'Sullivan from the Iron Druid series by Kevin Hearn. I love his books. I love the Druid series, Iron Druid series, and Atticus is his druid. And then Doc Holliday from the Immortal Doc Holliday series by M.M. Crumley because
Oh,
he's sarcastic and it's all magic and it's actually a great book series too.
that
So
would be a crazy dinner. I would want to
it
be
would, right?
there. And if stuff pops off, I'm gonna be ready with the camera. I'm gonna be like, what's one piece of advice you'd give an aspiring writer who hopes to follow in your footsteps?
Listen to all the advice, but pick what works for you.
That's great. That's great.
Because like everybody always said, when I first started really getting into this, people kept telling me, you gotta write every day, you gotta write every day. That's not an option. I can't write every day. So I don't write every day, but I don't feel bad about it anymore because I take everyone's advice and I take bits and pieces of what works in my life.
That's invaluable advice because we get so much, especially with the internet and social media, so much is coming at us all day long, every day, of all the things we got to do. And what might work for this person might not work for you. And I think,
Right.
yeah, yes, take it all in, but pick what's going to work.
Right.
So, what's next for you? Can you give us a sneak peek at any exciting projects or stories in the works? I think I know the
I
answer.
have well, I have a piece in Beltane, the Beltane anthology coming out. and it's similar to the one that I wrote in Bog Hag. So it's kind of like almost like a clickbait blog thing.
Ooh, I like
Uh,
it.
and then I have Divine Games, which you mentioned at the beginning,
Yep.
and I'm so excited. This one is so much fun because it's two older mystics. They're a few thousand years old, and they're tired of doing what they're supposed to be doing. And then the god and the goddess decide, oh, you're going to be our champion. They're both fighting, not wanting to do it, but knowing they have to. So it's gonna follow their paths crossing back and forth.
Ooh,
So
I love it.
uh,
That's going to be exciting. You guys don't miss that one. Follow her on Amazon so
I'm
you
having
get alerted. So, if you had to describe your writing style in 3 words, what would they be? Few bonus questions here. That'll be a little more fun.
sarcastic and organized chaos.
Ooh, I love it. I love it. And writing fuel kind of covered us a little bit. Coffee, tea, or something stronger?
Well, I don't drink coffee anymore because I don't drink caffeine. I don't drink alcohol, but I have my ginger ale and my tea. So
Perfect. And if you could magically live inside any fictional world for a day, what would it be?
Wonderland, because
Ooh,
of the insane chaos that's in there. I've always loved the chaotic energy that was in all of the ways that they do the show and the book and everything.
nice. Thank you, Jenny, so much for being here. I appreciate and love you. Would you like to
Thank
leave
you.
our audience with the details on how they can buy your books and how to find out more about you?
Well, I am on Amazon under J Noble. I am pretty much everywhere else under either author Ginny Noble, author J Noble, or just J Noble. So
And I have all the links that she sent me with Linktree and the like. They'll be in the description box below, as well in the show notes with the podcast. And that brings us to the end of this episode of Armchair Chat. Thank you so much, Jenny.
thank you.
Love you. Appreciate you. For more information, links will be in the description below and also in the show notes on the podcast. If you like this interview, please like, comment, subscribe, and don't forget to share the video.